Mrs. Apurva Chatter, with a strong understanding of people, process, and organizational growth, built across multinational organizations, startups, and manufacturing environments. As human capital manager at Farm Express, she
She's
leads
going
the
to speak from
organization's people
mic.
initiatives focused on building a professional, accountable, and growth
No,
oriented
speak from
workplace.
there.
To dive deeper into this journey of Farm Express, I now request Mrs. Apurva to take over.
She not okay.
Thank you, Rajna, and good afternoon, everybody. It gives me immense pride today to speak about Farm Express and introduce you to the entire journey that we've had over the years. How we think about food is usually very ordinary. We think of what to cook, what to eat, and that's it. We've never thought about the journey of the food that has started from where it was grown to where it has landed in our plates. This journey is the heart of Farm Express. We started 11 years ago as a Goan brand, sourcing good food and trying to fill a gap. This gap was identified 11 years ago, and this gap was about quality food not reaching the plates. We believe that good food starts with good ingredients. And this curiosity, willingness to discover where this good food, good ingredients lie, started an organization called Farm Express. What started as 3 people, one category, and just one vehicle delivering across Goa is today 100 plus people and 250, 2,500 plus stores across Goa. That makes us a leading Goan staple food provider across Goa. We didn't just grow in size. What started with one category, another, and the business evolved. What you see on the screen are the 9 categories of food products that we provide to the rest of Goa. On this journey of discovery, we discovered that our journey was never really just becoming bigger. It was always becoming better, finding ways to add value, creating an impact in the lives of people who are part of this journey, and most importantly, empowering the homemakers is what we've been always focusing on. This continuous desire to discover better ways of doing things shaped our relentless pursuit of excellence. When we talk about excellence, it's about how we've done it. As part of this commitment to provide the best possible, best quality food products to Goa, we are now an FSSC to 22,000 certified organization. FSSC 22,000 is a globally recognized certification scheme. This has also been possible through the digital technology that we use. All our processes, right from understanding the demand in the market to production and packing of our products until the supply of our products, all of these processes are mapped to the digital systems and the ERP systems that we use. How this helps us is this gives us a better visibility, helps us respond to market demands more effectively. And it's not just about people, but also the environment that we operate in. Our factory in Karaswada is a green factory. The entire 4-floor factory is run on solar energy. We've invested in electrical vehicles and we keep finding ways and working towards reducing waste and using our resources effectively. We look at growth holistically, not just building businesses, but building the business for the future. The only question that is at the heart of every Farm Express person is how we can do things better and what we can do better. I think that's the discovery that we are talking about today, the entire journey of discoveries. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Apurva, for taking us through this journey of discovery in brief. Mr. Rupesh Gans, founder and CEO of Farm Express, is an engineer, a management graduate from Goa Institute of Management, and a professional with 2 decades of experience in banking and business, and recently, through his deep association with the food distribution and food manufacturing industry, has set a new benchmark in the industry. I now call upon Mr. Gauss to throw light on this Goan brand that stands shoulder to shoulder with other nationally known brands in the state. Over to you, Mr. Gauss.
Thank you, Rachna. Warm good afternoon and welcome to all my friends from the press fraternity who are gathered here. We've always appreciated and acknowledged the support that you people have given us through this journey of 11 years that we've had. From a simple dream and a single seed that was sown in the year 2015 of bringing better food to Goa, to today the amount of love and affection that we are getting across the state, and the kind of feedback, the kind of the sense of ownership that is there across the state, for this homegrown brand of Goa. It's really overwhelming, and I cannot offer enough gratitude to the entire population of Goa for this. Today, basically, we are here for a special occasion. What the ethos of Farm Express that started 11 years ago still remains the same. We internally defined our work as bringing good food to Goa. So essentially, what Farm Express does is identifies gaps in the consumer market, and where we can come in as a brand and improve the quality, improve the availability, and improve the entire cooking and eating experience of food products. Those are the products that Farm Express will always look at entering into and offering to the Goan consumer. So in that episodic series, first we started just like Apurva said, mentioned, we started with pulses and grains. Through consumer feedback, people told us, why don't you do spices? So we got into spices, then dry fruits, jaggery, cold pressed oil, and we're today available across 9 categories. And rice, is the category that we said that we should look into, because we realize that it is one of the biggest staple, or the most voluminous and the most I would say nutritious nutrition that is going into a plate today of Goa. But we also realize on the other side that the general awareness level for this staple is very low. It is a low involvement purchase when the consumer is going out in the market and purchasing it, and primarily because things have not changed. So I've just put on some questions on the slide here. What are our consumption habits when it comes to rice? So rice and the layperson is the topic. What are our consumption habits when it comes to rice? What are our purchase habits? What choice do we have currently in the shops and stores that are there? How much do we trust what is being dished out to us? What, and then again very specific questions like what is single origin, what is steam rice, what is parboiling, all these things. So when we realize that, especially when we had thought that we'll give this category a focus, and then we will try and research this category, and better the offering that is there in Goa market. We had to go deep, we had to go traverse the country, we had to visit farms, we had to visit mills, we had to visit mandis, and then finally, we are presenting here today what is the culmination of that. My colleague Milixen will of course go more detailed into the research part of it, but uh, I know that many of us here in the hall are clueless about some of the things that are put here, because that is exactly what has come out of the research that we have done. So what is our goal basically when today we are launching this rise? The theme is discover your rise, because essentially we found out that at a general layperson level the awareness about this ingredient is less. So our goal today is to provide consumer the choice, okay, to educate consumer about the choice that is being offered to them, and thereabout bring a change in the rice consumption, purchase, and the entire experience that the consumers have with rice. So because we all of us are all of you are from the media fraternity, I'll just give a analogy so that the point is made clearer. So when the consumer was consuming media, so I'll just take you back to about 3 and 4 decades, okay. We had just one channel, Doordarshan, and then programs used to be relayed at set times, and we had to come and sit in front of the box, and then run. Then later on cable TV happened, the number of channels increased. Later on from 5 cable TV channels we have 500, and I believe today we have 900, or may have even crossed 1,000 channels, and now we have moved on to OTT. So the consumer who was earlier forced to go and sit in front of a box, today has entertainment at on his small screen, and he can watch the content when he wants, at the time of his whenever he is free he'll just go. But now look at how our rice habits have remained. So it is, we've now going around talking to people, we've realized people still buy rice the way they used to buy maybe 20 years back. We just used to go to that one shop and buy that one particular X colored bag that we know, okay, that my family has been consuming for so many years. We just continue to do that. Even today we'll go to that bag, buy the 25 kg or the 30 kg bag, and then that is consumed, okay. Why should we be doing that is the question we ask for ourselves, and we ask for our consumers, because today everything has changed, right from accessibility to technology to information, availability of information, everything has changed. Logistics have done phenomenal progress, and any product from any corner of the country can be brought to Goa with the economies of scale that are available to us today. So we applied that principle to rice, and today we are able to offer 12 different varieties of rice to the Goan consumer. Now, why 12 and how 12 and all that, I'll just very quickly take you through that. But the point that we are trying, the moot point that we are trying to make here is why. So in our homes, rice remains the staple, okay. It gives us so about 100 gram of rice gives us 80 grams 70 to 80 grams of carbohydrate, 6 to 10 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat. As per ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research, for a sedentary lifestyle 2000 kilocalories is what average person should be consuming, and rice gives us a lot of that. Now when that is such an important ingredient in a plate, why just treat it like a, we say let's give it the importance that is due there, and rather than I going and buying just 126 kg bag, why not, I will go around and buy 5 different types of rice and pair it with the 5 different types of dishes that, we make at home. So today, we have displayed to you, okay, a rice that goes exceedingly well with a sumtache human that will do. There is another rice that will go, there is another type of rice that will go, very well with the shakuti that we make. And there is a third type of rice that will go beautifully with the, dal that we do, make on a veg day. So this is, the kind of, we want to, break through the glass ceiling of, one type of rice every day, every meal. No, we have choice here. You can rotate your rice the way you want it, the way, you have made your other dishes on that particular day. So that is the main, change that we are offering here, to the Goan consumer. And just like Apurva mentioned, Farm Express has, over the years invested heavily in IT, information technology, which helps us, manage all our inventories well, and a beautiful distribution system where we are able to reach about. So we have, some of our distributors here also in our hall who help us, reach 2,500 stores today in Goa, and with the freshness that is required, of a food staple, with the authenticity and with the guarantee of FSSC 22,000, which is a European, standard of food safety, and with the kind of, precision that is required, for something, as important as food. So basically, coming back to rice, what we have discovered is what, I'll just, take it through in 2 3 slides. So basically, the rice, that we will be getting today comes from 6 to 7 different origins of the country. Okay, now it's a, mind you, it's a very tough job. Nature gives us about 1 lakh varieties of rice. In India itself, 75,000, it is estimated that 75,000 different varieties of rice exist. We have just chosen 6. Now, why 6? Because we've studied that, okay, these 6 varieties have been traditionally used in the Goan cuisine. Also, they go exceedingly well with the different types of dishes that are, prepared by all our Goan population. So 6 different locations across the country. Okay, there are 7 different types of grains that we are bringing to the consumer, and these grains are processed in multiple ways, which then finally comes to the 12 varieties that are being offered today in the market. So, if you look at the grain, rice grain, okay, of course, we have the husk which is removed during milling. Then there is the outer layer of the bran which is there, which gives us the fiber and the minerals, and the vitamins that are required, okay, for our nourishment. Then the inner, rice kernel that is seen, the white thing, which actually we know as rice when we actually cook and eat it, that is the endosperm botanically. And then there is the germ, which is the seed. So the endosperm is the, main food, that gives us the majority of the carbohydrate and the protein that, we take it from. And the germ, that the seed, okay, which is there, that gives us the fat that is there, and, maybe 1 or 2 additional vitamins that are there. So after looking at, so this is basically the grain. This grain can be processed in 4 different ways. Now, some of us are aware, but many of us are, not aware. These are the methods of milling. So there is a raw method of milling, there is a steam method of milling, there is a parboiled method of milling, and there is a full boiled method of milling. आम्ही कोकणीन ऐकले असेल सुरई तांदूळ. So surai is the raw तांदूळ. The ukdo तांदूळ is the parboiled, is what we call in Goa. And so in Kokani we say single ubesa or double ubesa. Single ubesa is the parboiled, and the double ubesa is the full boiled rice that is there. Now steam milling is an intermediary between raw and parboiled, where the paddy is only, steam is passed through the paddy before it is milled. What is milling? Basically the removal of the husk, which is there. And of course, the third parameter is the polish. We all know what is polished rice and unpolished rice. So combining all this together, I just put a summary of you know what different types of milling does to different types of. All this will be, of course, given to you through the press kit that is there. But just to give a quick summary, cooking time: the raw milled rice will cook the fastest, okay, and the full boiled will take the longest to cook. Okay, in terms of water required for cooking, the raw milling again will take the lowest, and the full boil will take the highest quantity of water for boiling. Similarly, there are multiple parameters of each of these which are there. Again, when you are cooking and you have really the time and patience, then the raw rice will take expertise to be cooked well, whereas the steamed rice is a rice that you can cook in a rough and tough way, or working ladies who have to balance their working duties as well as their domestic duties. Generally we have preferred steam is what has come out in our observation. But that person who really is an indulgent cook, who wants his rice to have that perfect taste and texture and all that, we've seen that would prefer the raw. Again, when we've done our research, okay, we've seen, and the feeling that we respect the most is every person has his own choice when it comes to rice. A rice that I like may not be liked by Apurva, something that she like, and I don't like. Third rice could be right by Sandesh. So similarly, every person has his own individual favorite and has his own and we absolutely respect that feeling. That's why the 12 varieties are fully justified, okay, because what is perfect for one person may not be and again, so one person may have more than one as a favorite. So that's what justifies the entire range which is there. So now we have just broken down the 12 offerings into 3 categories. The first one we are saying is everyday perfect, which is a value for money category. Okay. Then we have signature reserve for those who want only the best, and we do have the patience and the skill to cook it and savor it. Then for them, the signature reserve, the connoisseurs of and the food evangelists who really like the food the way it should be cooked. And then we have the wholesome living, the health conscious people, the people who look after nutrition and all that. For them, we have the wholesome range. So under all these 3 categories put together, we have the 12 varieties. Now this is our signature reserve. I'll quickly go through the slides. All these products are there behind. We have displayed them for you. Each product has a tent card which shows what is their specialty. But I'll quickly run through it. So why is signature reserve? It is carefully curated, perfectly aged. It's a connoisseur's choice is what we say, and it is precision managed. So we have taken pains in sourcing this thing. We have kind of curated it so that the taste and the cooking experience is at the ultimate level with this range. Then we have our premium jeera, which is a steam variety. We have so I was talking about the 4 variants, 4 parameters of rice that basically. So first is the origin. So if you see here, this premium jeera comes from Telangana. Okay, it comes from the banks of river Krishna. It is a medium length. It is steam milled and it is slender in shape. So these 4 characteristics define this particular brand of rice of ours, this particular variant of ours. Then premium column, most of the things remain same like premium jeera. The only difference is it is raw milled. The type of milling is different from where the grain is coming, and the grain essentially remains the same. but the type of milling changes, and you have a different variant which goes with different types of dishes. If you see, this one goes well with dal, the veg curries, and also our fish curry. Okay, and it is generally used for our dairy rice. Then we have our Indrayani, or rather we have our Ambemor first. This is also known as the Govindabhog, is also known as Jira Kalasa, is also known as the Kaima rice in Kerala. Basically a very aromatic variety. This particular one has come from the from Bardhaman district in West Bengal, and it's a very premium variety. Usually used in desserts, and also people also use it for their daily rice. Indrayani, many people in the hall must be knowing Indrayani. Comes from the Sahyadris foothills. Okay, the excellent combination, for non-veg gravies. Okay, our team has tried it with shakuti, amazing experience. Okay, so this is another offering that is, again, it is medium. The shape is slightly plump, and the milling is raw. Origin again is banks of Indrayani river in from the Sahyadri region. Then we have a premium basmati which comes from the Indo-Gangetic plains of Haryana and Punjab. It's a long grain. This particular basmati is suited for home cooking. There are some varieties that are suited for dum and the bigger batch cooking, but this particular one we have chosen, which is more suited for our home cooking, small quantities. Then we have our everyday perfect. So we also acknowledge the fact that there are people who will also consider budget, while for them we are offering these four varieties which are priced at a level that is lower than the signature range. In that again we have the daily jira, we have the daily kolam, we have sona musuri, and we have the broken basmati. These are the four, again all the same, only in the origin from where they are coming may now this comes from the Tungabhadra river basin or banks from Karnataka. Same with the daily jira steam. This daily kolam is a raw milled product. Again, broken basmati are the fragments of the long basmati that we do, coming from the same Haryana Punjab belt. Then we have the wholesome, so people who are health conscious and really care for what calories they are eating, what amount of fiber they are eating. So these are the three variants that we. So this is our local boiled rice. This is parboiled milling. Then it is medium and plump. Most of us here know this rice. Then within this we have the raw rice. Now this is raw. This is not boiled. This is raw at the time of milling, and it is also known as brown rice by some of us, but we call it the red raw rice. It is here on display. And then we have something called as a fine balam, which is the full boiled rice again. So our lab test and also research everywhere available has shown that these varieties, the boiled varieties, are more nutritious, have more fiber, etc., than the polished varieties. So basically, now these are the things. Now, what is the brand's promise to you? So, when Farm Express has now, expressed its desire, okay, to change the rice scenario in Goa, this is what we are promising our consumers. Excellence that has started 11 years back with one category continues, okay, every day. So we have a placard that is put out in our factory, which says there is nothing in this world which cannot be done in a better way. So the journey of continuous improvement for us is a daily journey. Every day we say that, okay, there is nothing in this world which cannot be done in a better way. So we keep improving, we keep improving. So that continues with rice. Okay, we say that we will maintain the highest standards of product and process. Okay, we will keep improving our products and processes. Democratization of access is something that I want to elaborate a little bit. Today, a brand or a grain that has come from as far as Bardhaman in West Bengal is available at a neighborhood store for a Goan consumer. That is what I call democratization of access. We want the best of grains available and accessible to our Goan consumer. He need not travel 20 kilometers to go to that one particular shop where the best price is available in Goa. We have shops like that, who have done that over so many years. But today, through our well established distribution and technology, we want to make it accessible. We want to bring it as close to your house as possible. So that is our promise to the consumer, and also the unwavering attention to our consumers cooking and eating habits and experiences. So we will keep taking feedback, and we will keep improving ourselves. That is the promise that on behalf of my team I can make here. So thank you for a patient hearing, and I think I'll give it back to Rachana. We will take the question and answers later, right?
Thank you so much, Mr. Gauss, for this knowledgeable and interesting information that you've shared with us. But on a lighter note, I guess quite a few are hungry now.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Mr. Mlixit Fernandez, founder Analytics Station, a Goa-based research analytics, marketing and technology company. His work is focused on understanding consumers, uncovering market insights, and translating what research finds into practical business and communication strategies. He will be sharing insights from the research that shaped the Farm Express rice campaign and how consumer understanding moved beyond data to directly influence the strategy, creativity, and execution behind today's launch. Over to you, Mr. Fernandez.
Thank you, Rachna. Check.
Yeah, it's on now.
Check. I have a very interesting job. All I have to do is figure it out. That's the normal question which is given to me. This is the problem. You have to go figure it out. The discovery, when we went ahead and when we decided that okay, this is the rice. There's a big gap in the market. There's a daily rice which is around 70% of our fish thali plate. If you're taking a fish thali plate, we love rice, right? Goans love rice. But it is also a boring thing to discuss about rice. Nobody finds it very interesting, I think, other than not being biased, but a few ladies. I think none of us would want to discuss about rice. So that was the problem statement which we had. How do we make rice interesting? So the first thing we wanted to break down and understand, what is this about? What is rice? Theoretically, there is a lot of literature, but practically, what is that people see, people who are using it, people who are consuming it, people who are ordering it, what is that makes a big deal or a no big deal about the rice? So we did a couple of sets of research. One is in the consumer side and one is in the supply side. The consumer side was directly we went to kitchens, we went to mothers, cooks, whoever loved to cook. We went to a set of people. We went to chefs, we went to 5-star hotels, we went to premier hotels to validate what exactly this rice is about. The answer, what we found was, everybody knows about rice as a rice, but what it is, why it is, and what is the indulgence of this rice, including the level, the chefs were not aware of. The variety which is there in the market, how do you go about multiple types of dishes pairings. This was missing there, and we received this in first hand manner. The supply side was one wherein we had to lose a lot of weight, travel, and visit as many meals as possible to again establish our processes right. Uh, Farm Express is very stringent when it comes to processes, very strong on their processes, and we wanted to ensure that we find the partners who are right in getting us the right rice, but the processes is what we said is what has to get accepted. So we had to, all these 6 places were the short list of it, but we visited quite few many more. But we have it in check as per the standards, as per the guidelines that we have put up our processes. So making this rice about boring to bringing it to making it very casual, very making it talkative. That's the marketing and the consumption side of connection that we were trying to discover it out. And in this bargain, the additional information that we got and how do we make this exciting. The first thing was about the campaign, and the first advertising point for us was our bags. So what we have done here is, if you see these bags, right? Firstly, they are a carry bag. Again, there is a pillar for Farm Express, that is sustainability. The bags are not biodegradable, but they are reusable. Since the handle part comes into play, we are expecting people to use it. So all it does it reduces the stress on the garbage side. You can use this bag multiple times, many times. The information what is required and what the modern buyer is seeking, but it is not available to them. The type of milling, the type of pairing, what is that proportion of cooking, how do you cook this particular rice. These are like 101. This is not available, but everybody expects everybody to know this information. We are just spelling it out very loudly over there. This is how it is. So a caution to all the men here that now women can say that, men, all this information is here. You guys can start cooking rice. So that's the angle you want to kind of bring it to there as well. So the packaging was set, the colors were picked. Again, the packaging is made in such a way that when it's kept on the shelves, it has a attractive nature to it. Your eyes will go on this packaging. They've demonstrated in behind, but when it's there in the clutter of the rice, and especially when it comes to the daily rice, your eyes will seek attention and take this attention on this bag. We've launched our website. Of course, in the world of ChatGPT and all the AI tools which are there, the website is needed for us primarily to collate its information, what we have researched about, and to address it and put it out the way we have captured this information. I'll just give you all a glimpse of that website. Yeah, so this is our website now, new website that we have made specifically for rice. Again, having all the information, all the research that we have done has been expressed in different ways over here. Including there's a small quiz. Let's say if you're not sure what rice makes what, you can click on the quiz and you can enable it, and it will tell you what would be the decent pairing for that particular dish which you plan to make, what would be the right rice for that. Having said that, when we were doing this study and when we were figuring out all this bit of it, I have gained a lot of weight also during this period. So the amount of testing that I think I was one of major testers over there I've done is the discovery for me was Indrayani with chicken chakoti. I have never had Indrayani before. It was something that came new to me. I cooked it myself first time. I didn't do it really well. Then later there was a chef who we had enabled and we tested it with him, and then he cooked it right. How the way it has to be cooked. It has to be cooked in an absorption method, which brings out the right moisture and the right stickiness in that. And then when we were pairing it out, the pairing was in the shakuti, and that pairing was like just too good, just too good. So gained another 200 grams maybe that day. But so moving to the next part, how do we make it exciting for people? Over last 1.5 year, as a brand, we have done some serious branding, serious advertising. My team colleagues have put in amazing efforts to bring this part. Last year we did a Shravan series, followed by most recent was Mother's Day, and we have got a really good reception, for all of this content that we are doing. All this content is created, directed in Goa. If required, there are people who have come from outside Goa and curated this in Goa, and the whole production is happened in Goa. This also takes me next step. I mean, we go to next step. Today we premiere the ad for this campaign, for Discover Your Rice campaign. I would just request to dim the lights, please.
तुवें म्हजो घात केलो, म्हजी प्रॉपर्टी घेतली, एका लंडन घरा खातीर म्हाका सोडलो. पूण वर्ष पयलीं म्हाका एकूच सांगून वच, काल शाकुती बराबर कसलो रायस केल्लो?
Ready to order? Are you a daily jeera person or premium jeera person?
भाई नंबर किती येणार आहे? डेली कोलम त्याला 2 शिट्यो आणि लोकल बॉयज त्याला 4 शिट्यो. आम्ही हे रस्ते बांधकामामध्ये
Thank you. Two beautiful questions, I would say. First question, single origin. So, what do we mean by single origin is, while we were doing, the market survey, we realized there are some rice, there is some rice that is available in the market currently, which is blended rice, where, more than one, like I mentioned, there are about 70,000, different varieties of rice available in India. So, similar looking, more than one variety are at times blended, and then they are sold as one type of rice. When we say single origin, we will never do that. We will use only one exclusive type of grain, and that will again be from, like for example, I'll give you an example. Sona Masuri is grown in the Tungabhadra belt, and is also grown in Uttar Pradesh. But we will not mix the two. We will only source it from one origin. So what it does at the consumer level is the cooking experience is very consistent. The taste and the final dish that is made is very consistent and remains the same. And you get what you expect when you cook a particular type of it. So that is some single origin is what we mean from single origin. Yeah. Okay, the second question. No, we have not invested in rice mills, Shoma, because at Farm Express we look at ourselves as aggregators of rice. Now we have great respect for all the rice millers across the country, because we visited several of them, okay, and we see the amount of toil, the amount of expertise, the amount of skill it takes in terms of milling rice. and that skill is acquired over decades, I would say. What we have done, so we call ourselves aggregators of rice. So we have access to the best mills, across the country. So we don't need to invest in one. So it is just about, we share our specs with them. We go, we inspect. It is all part of vendor development for us. Our team is has been doing it over the years for other categories, and in similar way we've done it for rice as well. So we have tie-ups across multiple mills across the regions that we've stated, and from there we procure our rice to the exacting standards that our farm express consumers would expect here in Goa. Thank you.
Excuse me, I also wanted to know whether you plan to source Goan rice. Like, I think none of these varieties have Goan rice.
So two of the varieties are Goan. When I say Goan, we look at it as a Konkan region, which is we can also at times source from the extended Sindhudurg and Karwar regions of it. So the paddy is definitely from there. Okay, and so what happens typically is when the newer rice mills, okay, which have advanced technology for milling, okay, they need a batch size of at least 20-25 tons of paddy for milling. Okay, and to get that as a single origin rice in Goa currently is a challenge, okay, for us, but we are still working on it. And if we are able to get it, we are definitely looking at more varieties from Goa. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Shashwat. I'm from Heritage Newspaper. I want to know, is any of your varieties grown organically or all are conventionally grown? If yes, which brand of these are organically grown?
Thank you, Shashwat ji, for your question. It helps us explain our range. No, none of the 12 current varieties is organic. They are all conventional. We are looking at adding 2 to 3 organic, but it will come in phase 2. Organic varieties. Organic varieties again, has a deeper vendor development and process. We have started it, but not yet through. But yes, you can expect another, in maybe 3 to 6 months, 1 or 2 organic varieties from us.
For diabetic, rice is carbohydrates and only carbohydrates. Avoid carbohydrates.
Again, we refer to ICMR and all these sources for such information. Basically, what is talked about is rice with low glycemic index. So typically, any rice or any particular food with a glycemic index of less than 55 is said to be low glycemic index. So what a glycemic index usually says is that how easily or how difficult is for our digestive system to break down the food, and then to get that energy from that food. So typically between so anything less than 55 is said to be low GI, and anything between 55 to 70 is moderate, and anything more than 70-80 is high supposedly. So the wholesome range that I mentioned, the 3 varieties of that, at least 1 or 2 have been tested to be low GI, and so for the third one we are having some batch variations, but we are waiting, and again we will declare that. So we have not yet declared that on the packaging, but very soon we will declare it. But at least 1 or 2 are low GI and can be, I feel, safely used by people who are conscious about this fact.
I wanted to ask that Farm Express products are slightly more expensive than the other products that are sold, okay? Equivalent products,
Yes.
dals, everything. So in case of rice, which is a very So how do you expect it is going to be costlier than the other products? But then what do you feel like?
Yes, ma'am. So, like I explained, we have three categories. The everyday perfect is you can expect the pricing to be at par with what you would expect, from a value for money kind of a brand. But our signature reserve, okay, that category is a product which is curated, which we have really taken pains to actually go to places and get it and source it and put it in the best way possible. Could be felt a little premium, but it is because of the amount of effort and the amount of that has gone to the, but the everyday perfect, you can expect it to be priced on par with all the other offerings or similar offerings, with the trust of having followed all food safety and norms, as well as a single origin promise that we are trying to make here. Yeah. So, if there are no questions, then I would just like to say something. So we are almost done. My colleague Sandesh will speak for a bit, and then the we have the theme of the event is Discover Your Rise. The theme of our campaign is Discover Your Rise, and what we are trying to shout out loud is Discover Your Rise. Now, I want all of y'all who are here in the hall to start discovering it, right from the word go. So the lunch arrangements that we have done, okay, what we have done, okay, in collaboration with Taj, with Vivanta, I'm thankful to them. We have cooked 4 different types of rice for you, and we've arranged for different gravies. And we are asking you to discover it for yourself, right from the word go here, and right from today. Also, we have displayed all our 12 varieties on the other side of the hall, and every information that a common consumer would need about that particular is displayed there. Me and my team are also around. Please go around, have a look at them, and any questions, we are more than